games in a row. They are 5-3 overall, 3-0 in the conference. They are tied for first place in the Big South after their 45-38 win over Campbell. Bhayshul Tuten, 256 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. All I can say is that he's going to be rewarded greatly later today, but stay tuned for that. So he's going to get a lot of recognition for his performance on Saturday. The Aggies this week will play a fellow HBCU in Norfolk State here at Truist Stadium at noon. We don't have with us today our head coach, Sam Washington, but in his place we have our offensive coordinator, Mr. Chris Barnett. His offense put up 566 yards on Saturday. And also joining us later in the afternoon will be Tuten and linebacker Jacob Roberts, who had a 39-yard INT return for a touchdown on Saturday. Without further ado, Coach Barnett.
Good afternoon. It's great to see everybody. So I'm filling in for Coach Washington, who's not here due to a family emergency. So please keep him in your prayers. Keep him and his family in your prayers. He will be back tomorrow. So please keep him in your prayers. So just talking about the game, man, wow. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Our guys, the fight, the perseverance, the resilience, I couldn't be more proud of those guys. Starting out the 28-10, in the hole, guys could have easily gave up, and they didn't. And that shows the heart and the fight that they have. And that's outscoring them 35-10 from that point on was just amazing. So I would like to give a kudos to the coaching staff. I obviously like to give a kudos to our playmakers as well. They made plays when plays needed to be made. We got a saying around here. Something good happened, keep playing. Something bad happened, keep playing. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. And that's exactly what they did. From a defensive standpoint, them jumping out 28-10 in the first quarter, the adjustments out there after that were just flat out superb. And then Jacob Roberts with that play that he made in the second half coming out after we scored a touchdown, the one-handed interception down the sideline. I mean, that was absolutely remarkable. So defensively, those guys, when they needed to make a play, those guys made play. We needed a big stop at the end, and they got that. Offensively, I'm proud of those guys as well, especially being the offensive coordinator. I felt like the first half we left some plays out there. It was 2 times in the red zone where, we only got a field goal. The other one we turned the ball over. And so there was some opportunity there that we weren't pleased with at halftime. We made the adjustments. Guys were coachable. Guys had a belief that every time we could touch the ball, we could score. And it showed. We were 6 for 6 in third downs that second half. And, when it was time for us to run the win, 6 minutes left, and not get our defense back out, put them out on the field, we took pride in that. And so we've actually had some good experience with that from 2 prior games. And so it showed up when we needed it the most. And so, I told those guys before the game, big-time playmakers make big-time plays, big-time moments of big-time games. And our playmakers showed up. Bhayshul Tuten showed up. Jacob Roberts showed up. Jalen Fowler showed up, right? Our playmakers showed up. Zach Leslie showed up. So many guys showed up at the right times when we need them the most. And I call that competitive greatness. So, with that being said, it's always some things you need to work on. That's what it's about, right? Watching the film, seeing what you need to work on. It's about growth. So we evaluate the film. We'll make the corrections this week. And, things we definitely got to get better at. Penalties, we definitely got to be better there. I feel like we hurt ourselves in that instance. So we got to be better there. I know offensively we need to be better in the red zone as well. So we definitely got some things we need to work on, but that's good. And I'm excited to attack the work week. Our guys are excited to attack the work week. So we'll get out there today at practice and do that. Now kind of transition into the Norfolk State. So we're playing an opponent. First off, I want to say with these guys, I know several of their coaches, great coaching staff. So I know those guys haven't started out the way that they would have liked, but we got to be ready for everything, their best shot. I know defensively, I'm the offensive coordinator, so defensively, their linebackers are kind of the guys, the 2 leading tacklers. So they're flying around, they're roaming around. Secondary wise, they got some length. They play multiple fronts, multiple coverages. So eyes and communication has to be critical from our end. Defensively, from talking to offensively, from talking to our defensive coaches, they said the quarterback's a good player, pocket guy, strong arm. Got a playmaker, number 10, so he's quick, he's shifty. Up front, they got a lot of young guys, but every game they're improving. Every game those guys are improving. And special teams, they're sound. So offense, defense, and special teams, they're sound. Like I said, I got a lot of respect for that coaching staff. So, but like any game, it's about us. It's truly about us, and how well we play. I don't care who we're playing. All right. Are we going to play with great effort? Are we going to play with great fundamentals? Are we going to play with great technique? Little things make big things happen. And so, as long as we approach the work week with that mentality, I plan on having a good outing this week. Any questions?
How difficult was it for you to stay with your script, even though they jumped out on it? I know you want to run the ball, you want to down, look up and down 15 points like that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. The things that keeps you in the moment as far as sticking with the game plan, because that's what happens, right? Sometimes you get out the game plan, want to come back right now. The first half we ran the ball well. We ran the ball well in the first half. We didn't convert third downs well. We were 2 for 7 on third down in the first half. We were 6 for 6 in the second half. And on one of those, was an interception. So, from that standpoint, it wasn't tough because we're giving our best player the ball. And, Bhayshul Tuten is absolutely special with the ball in his hands. He's special, without the ball in his hands as well. He's a willing blocker. And then up front, those guys were dominant. They were absolutely dominant up front, and all 5 guys, and then also the tight ends and the fullbacks, Romello Kimbrough and Nick Dobson, and those 7 guys. It was pancakes all over the place out there. And so when you're playing with that type of tenacity, right, and you see that and you visually see that, all right, it makes it easier for you to stick with it.
What is this offensive line? You've been here a while. What is this offensive line rank?
Yes, yesterday, on Saturday was probably the most dominant performance I've seen. When you talk about all 5 guys, right? It was pretty dominant. It was probably the most dominant I've seen since I've been here. I've been here since 2015. So kudos to Coach Mattis getting those guys prepared. We challenged those guys all week, right? They're talking about the defensive line, right? They're talking about this and that. So we challenged those guys. All right. And we're prepped for this. We've practiced for this, right? What we had to go through perseverance wise, right? And so we talked about it before the game. When it's time to seize the moment, let's seize the moment. And we thought they did a great job of that.
Coach, when you had 3 false starts in your first possession
and
a drop pass.
Yeah.
You think that was homecoming nerves? How would you attribute that to?
I don't know what that was, but I didn't like it. Right? I don't know what that was, but I didn't like it. And so, we need to calm down, settle down, just settle down. Because at that point, when we had plays, they were successful plays, but we can't be in 1st and 20, 2nd and 18, right? It's too hard. You got to stay on time, right? We have this down and distance philosophy. First down, get at least 4 yards. Second down, get at least half. Third down, let's pick it up. Put ourselves in position where 3rd and manageable is now 3rd and short, and 3rd and medium, as opposed to 3rd and long and 3rd and extra long. And so when we're staying on time, we definitely got a better opportunity to be successful on offense.
And this is a follow-up. Did you recruit Bhayshul Tuten?
I did.
You went up to New Jersey. How did you find out about it?
A mutual friend. So Coach Riley, who's a coach who is part of the Glacier Clinic. So I speak at the Glacier Clinics a lot. And so he's one of the heads of the Glacier Clinic and putting it on. And so his high school teammate was Bhayshul's head coach. So that's where it all started.
Has he got faster this year? Because that's the running joke. He seemed like he was picked up on half a second speed.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's as fast as much as endurance. Because from 0 to 20 and 0 to 30, he's always been fast. Now I think he's holding that speed for longer. So it allows him to get those 70, 60, and 50-yard runs. So, that's a testament to his hard work in the offseason. Coach Ali working with him in the offseason to improve the things that he needs to work on. That can make him more elite.
You seem to mention the run block a lot there, opening the holes for Bhayshul, but in seems like the offensive line's pass blocking abilities have been absolutely phenomenal. Jalen had a ton of time. How much is that contributing to his play that's improved over the last 5 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those guys will dominate run game and pass game. Shoot, I just said run game because they ran for over 300 yards. But yeah, pass game wise, I mean, they did a great job. It starts with eyes and communication. And so those guys, you know, in offensive line, 5 guys equal 1. And so when they're on the same page, they're going to the right guys. They're playing with their fundamentals. They're playing with their technique, right? Those guys can be special. So yeah, pass game wise, I do think they had a nice pocket for Jalen. The whole game pretty much, and there was some times where some guys got away and Jalen was able to do some things with his legs too. So I think it works hand in hand. You know, we have a goal, a no sacks goal. We gave up 1 sack, but like that goal for us is not an offensive line goal. You know, the running backs, you know, we had some instances where we're chipping defensive ends and doing some things to slow those guys down, right? They got to have great eyes with their protection as well. So, you know, it's more of a team goal. Receivers got to get open, quarterback got to get the ball out. And so the sacks is a team goal, but yes, absolutely, it starts up front. It definitely starts up front. Those guys did a great job.
And Rebello got the direct snap that he came under and first down.
Yeah.
Were his eyes just huge when he heard the play call? He was like, "Oh man, I'm going to get mine. I'm about to get that first down."
Yeah, I don't know if his eyes was huge. He was ready. He was ready, and that's one thing I can say about him. He's ready when we call upon him, whether it's the block. Most of the time, it's blocking. I mean, if you look at that film, man, he was dominant out there blocking. Most of the time, it's blocking, but you know, he has really good hands. You saw him get a shovel pass and break a tackle. I mean, he's hard to tackle. So, you know, he's definitely a force and definitely helps take our offense to another level.
You held the ball for the last 6 minutes of the game. What was the biggest play in that series?
The third down conversions.
Both of them.
I think it was 3.
Okay.
Third down conversions, because that's what it's about. It's about converting third downs. If you want to drive the ball down the field, all right, you want to be successful and you want to score touchdowns, right? First downs, you got to win first down. All right, you got to convert third downs. All right, and then the third piece is the thing we need to focus on the most: red zone touchdowns, not field goals. Because once we get that figured out, all right, our offense is going to go through the roof. All right, so we got to get that part figured out right now. And so we had some opportunities there, but we just got to execute. You know, when the red zone, everything space shuts down. And so now your fundamentals have to be that much more perfect. Your routes have to be that much perfect. Your balls have to be that much more accurate. So it's just a trickle from space shutting down. So, you know, we're attacking it this week, and hopefully it'll change this weekend.
Coach, I know you got a lot of plays. You got a lot of stuff you want to run. How hard is it just to know when and where? That's all they know, the tunnel screen. You got the 2-point conversion. Same play that tried in Charlotte and didn't work out on the goal line. So how do you know, just have that feeling like this is going to work out?
Game plan. It starts with game plan. Preparation. You win the game during the week. All right. And winning is in the preparation. And so all these situations that we see, we practice them. We practice third and short. We practice third and medium. We practice third and long. We practice 2-point plays, right? We practice 2-minute drill. Like we practice these things. And so really it's about trusting the preparation, trusting to see the what you see on film. All right, then coming through and sticking with the game plan and running those plays, and then obviously executing once it comes to the player's standpoint by using great effort, fundamentals, and technique.
I was being reminded, you all in the last drive, the 6-minute drive to close the game, you went for it on 4th down? Oh, Campbell.
Were you a little surprised that Campbell went forward on 4th down with 6:05 left and they had 3 timeouts?
You know, when it's a game like that and it's a flow of the game, not really, because we were having success on offense and we were scoring quickly. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. To be honest with you, maybe. I know against Jackson State, they went forward and fake punt and took some chances. So maybe that's just Coach Mender's kind of philosophy to take chances. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's probably a combination.
Hey, did you hear, Coach Mentor said before the game he was going to make a judgment as whose homecoming was the best between A&T's and Jackson State, but they wouldn't bring him to the post-game press conference. I didn't get a chance to ask him. Anybody heard what he said?
I have not heard. I have not heard. So I have no idea. But the fans came out. They came out. We had a packed stadium. The energy was great. And then outside the campus, it was even more there. So
how long did they celebrate in the locker room?
a normal celebration. You know, these kids, man, they're gonna celebrate and then they're gonna get out and do whatever they was about to do anyway. So, but nah, it was a great celebration, man. We had so much fun. You know, the guys were pumped up and juiced, and really it was because they believed. And when you believe, and then it comes into fruition. I mean, it's an unbelievable feeling. I mean, I got chills multiple times throughout the game because once you get that momentum, and you can see it, everything kind of turning and changing. I mean, it was special, man. It was definitely a special moment.
On a personal note, A&T fans like always joke, not the most patient or whatever. Did this upset? I guess down everyone saying maybe the greatest homecoming comeback ever. Does this person do anything like this weight up your shoulders to give you a little bit more, just I guess credibility for fans?
Yeah, no, it don't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Hey, I'm about this team and what's going to help us be successful. And so I shut out the outside noise. As long as we believe as a team, as long as this offense believe, as long as the defense believe, all right, as long as we're one heartbeat, that's all that really matters. All this other stuff, it works out how it's supposed to work out. When you're disciplined, you do the right things, you play with great effort, play with great technique, play with great fundamentals, and be one unit, all right, you can be special. And so the one unit that we worry about the most is each other, right? Because if we don't believe, nobody's going to believe.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach. Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to bring up to the podium now running back Bhayshul Tuten. Of course, we already talked about the great game that he had on Saturday, and so he's going to tell us all about it. Floor is open for questions.
Opening comments about the game.
It was a hard game. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't easy. Like we were down 28-10 going to halftime, but I think as a team we stuck together. Going to halftime, it wasn't no argument. It wasn't no like he doing like what is he doing wrong or what am I doing wrong. I think we just stuck together. Going to halftime saying we got it, we good, and we just came out and fought. And I'm actually proud of the team for that, not giving up.
256 yards, Bhayshul. You ever had that many before?
Not since high school.
Not since high school?
Not since high school.
You had 256 in high school?
Yeah.
How many times?
Twice. That was it.
Was it a particular thing that you were attacking on Saturday? Was it just running the play that was called, or was there a particular aspect of that defense you were trying to attack?
Early in the week on film, we studied their linebackers, their secondary, and their tackling techniques. They to me, they really didn't want to tackle with great technique, really. So most of the time, you'll see them like diving or lunging for a tackle. So when you see that all week, you prepare for it all week. And in a game, we prepare for it. So when they were doing that, you had to make a miss, and it was working.
It seemed like both of your touchdowns never had to make a cut. It was like a straight line.
The big guys up front, they dominated all game. Like Coach Barnett said, it was pancakes all around. So with them pancaking, it makes it easy on me. I just got to finish it.
Were they talking a lot? Was the other team?
Oh, they surely was. Surely was. They're doing a lot of dirty stuff. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, somebody said that you kind of complained to the referees about that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to stay in my game, and at the same time, I'm trying to stay safe. So if I feel as though, like, oh, I might get injured doing this or that because they're playing, like, negative, then I have to complain about it to keep me safe and keep our team safe. So that's what I was doing.
If you don't mind, give us an example of something they said or something they stepped on your hands, stepping on your
at the bottom of the pile, they was twisting my ankles, jabbing at my neck, pushing my head down the ground. So it was like just small stuff like that you got to watch out for.
For sure. You guys play different types of opponents. Is it extra, excitement or motivation when you're playing a fellow HBCU team?
I just look at it as another game to play, really. So I just go out with that mindset. It's another game, another day to make big plays and take it from there.
Bhayshul, excuse me. Were you guys familiar with the idea that the quarterback for them was playing with a chip on his shoulder because he wanted to come to A&T? Were y'all familiar with that?
We found that out Friday night. That's when I found out about it. When we watched the Blue Death podcast, that little snippet. So that's when I was notified of it, but we wasn't really fazed by it.
You're in position now, in control of how you guys finish in the Big South. Does it add pressure to what you're already trying to do, simply to win games, to execute, to play to the best of your ability, or are you sort of happy to be here? You're happy to be in the spot where you can win the Big South?
I mean, it's not really pressure. It's like that's what we do. We practice since the winter to be in this seat right now. So I feel as though it's just what we was planning for it to be. So we just got to keep working, which we've been doing all this time, and just make it happen.
What do you think your role is going to be in that? Because you obviously had a big game Saturday. You got more games to go where you probably like to reproduce that output. Talk about your part of this.
My part is just keep running hard. Teams try to game plan for you running the ball. So if they game plan on us running the ball, then it opens up the passing off aspect of the offense. So it kind of works hand in hand. I just got to keep playing good, and the team is going to profit off of it.
I got one more. Well, give us a little history about your coming to A&T. Your recruitment.
It was a long process, kind of late too. Like we all know, COVID happened, so recruiting was kind of slowed down. Then one day I get a text from Coach Barnett saying like they're interested and stuff like that. Then I got a contact with Coach Gibbs, and it was kind of a relationship bonding between us. I came on a visit, me and my family. We liked it. We pulled the trigger right after that, as soon as I left. So the history is in a book.
What was it about this place that resonated with you?
The coaches really, they felt genuine. I felt that they cared. You know how some places you go, you could tell when people really don't care. I came here and I felt as though it could be a home for me.
You have offers from other places?
Not really. Couple, but it wasn't nothing really.
Thank you, too. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Just a quick note on two, 7 straight 100-yard games. That is 3 off the Big South record. Coming up now is linebacker Jacob Roberts. Great interception on Saturday. The floor is open for questions.
Okay, Jake, go ahead and describe that interception. And after being down 28-10, they were 7 for 7 in the first quarter, third down conversions. They had almost 300 yards in the first quarter. What was the adjustment that happened?
Well, we really just kept playing. The adjustment was me dropping to the flats and rolling the safety down because we knew it was going to try to keep throwing the hook route behind the linebacker with the RPO play. But so we expected the quarterback to throw it to the curl and me shooting out to the flats. He actually threw it to the flats. And I just put my hand out there. And next thing you know, I had the ball in my hand. And I just kept running.
I had stepped to the bathroom when you made the interception. They tell me it was one-handed.
Yeah.
Which hand was it?
Left. I'm actually left-handed, so it worked out. Yeah.
You show us how it looked when you did it. When you reach out.
It's like this. But yeah.
I missed it, man. See the replay.
Jacob, do you feel like that was the turning point there in the game when you got there? That let the offense know that they didn't have to do this all by themselves and that you guys were going to help them put some points up there. And I mean, really, that touchdown, that was the difference in the ballgame.
Yeah, there was a lot of plays in the game that gave us big momentum. I feel like, that was one of the contributors. Coach told us during the week that defense was going to have to put up some points in the game, and we did it.
Why were they so difficult to stop, Jacob?
We just didn't execute things in the first half, but we fixed things in the second half, and we got the job done.
Did you notice the same stuff in terms of some dirty play on their part?
We're just playing football. Just playing football.
Jacob, how special is it that you guys know you control your own destiny for winning this Big South Conference?
It's great, but our goal is to go 1-0 each and every week. So if we continue with that mindset and going down that path, we're going to be successful.
What's the defense's role in this march to the title? What do you guys have to do closing in? Because ultimately you're going to play Gardner-Webb with maybe a championship game on the road. But not to get that far ahead, just what do you do game to game to sort of get yourself in the spot to be challenging for championship?
Just keep playing, being good communicators on the field, and keep playing fast and physical. If we do those three things, we'll be great.
Is there anything else for Jacob? Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, a couple of announcements. The Gardner-Webb game scheduled for November 19th. It is now a 12 p.m. start instead of a 1:30 p.m. start. Will be a release on that later today, but if you can spread the word, the game down in Bullet Springs will start at noon instead of 1:30. Second thing, after we finish here, there's volleyball going on in Moore Gym, rare afternoon game. So if you want to cheer on the volleyball team, stop by there, Moore Gym. Volleyball is playing right now. Fortunately, everybody's already had lunch, so we can go ahead and start our radio show.